The price of Bitcoin today dropped down significantly already this morning and has bounced back to the upside. Looking at the liquidation watch right here, there's been a lot of liquidations so far today. But today I want to talk about Bitcoin, of course, the current price, how that's getting along. But I also want to discuss what's going on with Bitboy here. Because Bitboy, as you'll all know, I've known Bitboy for many years. I did not expect to see a video like that from Bitboy ever in my life. So I'm going to offer my opinion on the whole Bitboy drama, getting kicked off his channel. Didn't even know that was possible for a start, but kicked off of his own YouTube channel. Apparently there's drug accusations and of course cheating accusations, and he addresses all of these things in this video, and I'm going to talk about all of it. So I mean, I don't need to offer my opinion on it. I just thought it's an interesting one. I've never seen something like this play out on crypto YouTube before. It's very sad that it is happening, but it's also very interesting at the same time. So anyway, starting off today's video, current price of Bitcoin. Just before we get into it, make sure you've slapped a like on this video. Press that like button down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it as we look at the price of Bitcoin and how it's getting along. Because of course today, the price of Bitcoin took a big old nosedive. It was pretty horrendous actually watching this over the course of the past half an hour or so, as Bitcoin's price went up to about $26,100 and then proceeded to drop $600 in the next 1 hour period. It was a pretty hefty drop, and the question is this drop going to keep happening, or is the drop over at this point in time, and will the price of Bitcoin recover? Well, from my perspective, I actually think things are looking a lot better than what they have been doing recently. If we look at the 1 hour right now, I know that on the surface, this looks pretty horrendous, but it's also important to consider that most of the bad things already look like they've already happened. So that's pretty good news. If you look at here on the 1 hour and zoom out, you can see that we've got a very, very strong level of support. We failed at these other levels of support here. That was no fun at all. But to be honest, it'd be pretty shocking if this level here did not hold. And the level of which we've got to hold is approximately the level of $25,500. If we lose $25,500, we drop down like a stone. It is going to be like going down the rubber dinghy rapids. It's going to be pretty horrendous. We will drop probably down to about $24,000, $23,000 before the end of September, if that was the case whereby we lost 25.5. However, so long as 25.5 is holding, the market should bounce. So from my perspective, look, if you're in a position right now which is underwater, what would I do if I were in a position that was underwater? I would continue to hold that position. I wouldn't be taking the loss at this stage. I'd take the loss under 25.5 and just go, look, that is the level of which when it hits, I'm out. Or maybe 25.4, because it could just wick below that level. You know how Bitcoin operates. It just wicks below the levels, covers off the stop losses, and then bounces back to the upside. So just be very careful about trading in this range right now, but I certainly think there's not a bad position to be holding an existing long position, or certainly taking out a new long position. I think that is definitely on the cards for me at this moment in time. If you are wondering where I trade, I don't know why you'd be wondering at this point in time, but the answer is I trade on BYBIT, for which you'll find a link in today's video description. Check out the link. You used to be able to get a free Rolex, but I appear somebody's won that Rolex at this point in time. But you can still get up to $20,000 for free. I think it's 20,000. It could be 10,000 in bonuses and stuff for signing up and trading on the link in today's video description. So thank you very much for supporting the channel and using that link. However, we've discussed Bitcoin a little bit, and we're going to come back to Bitcoin in just a moment. We've also got some crypto news to discuss in today's video, but it's time to talk about Bitboy. Bitboy, why did you do that? It is not difficult to keep it in your pants. All you need to do is keep it in your pants and not stick it in other people. You've got a wife, you've got kids, that's not good. You shouldn't be doing things like that, and I don't approve or condone anybody doing that kind of thing. I've had the same girlfriend for, 8 years now? I think it's 8 years. Could be longer, could be 9 years. Something like that, anyway, since I was 16, and I'm now 26, so 10 years. Anyway, should know that. The point is, kept the same one, just like you've kept the same wife. It's not difficult, keep it in your pants. Next thing is the whole steroid drug thing. I personally don't think that steroids are drugs. I think that they are medical, but it's been pretty clear, I think, to everybody watching the Bitboy YouTube channel over the course of the past 12 months. Bitboy has become increasingly more erratic. I've sent several messages to Bitboy's team going, honestly, is he okay? He doesn't look like he's in sound mind. He just needs to calm down a little bit, cool off. And I think that the entirety of Bitboy's team maybe felt like this. I don't know because I'm not part of it, but I just think from the outside, it's good that finally somebody's putting a stop to it. Finally, he's going to come back to his senses, and hopefully we can have the old chubby Bitboy back. Let me show you old chubby Bitboy. I was looking at old chubby Bitboy videos the other day. We liked old chubby Bitboy videos. We want oldest. Bitboy's changed an awful lot during his time on YouTube. That's Bitboy now. This is what Bitboy used to look like. His videos used to be amazing. They were... old crypto YouTube back in the day. I mean, you can look at some of my old videos as well, but old crypto YouTube back in the day, it's just absolutely fascinating to see how few of these things that we were talking about that back then worked out. But at the same time, it's just interesting to see how things have changed on the internet over the years. Bitboy has gone from being poor, just like I've gone from being poor. He's made a lot of money. He's done very well for himself. He's then transcended into some kind of crypto god, and then probably taken that a little bit too literally and gone and cheated on his wife and got a bit crazy. But he's back, hopefully, and I hope to see Bitboy back on YouTube soon. I also want to point out that even if somebody has done something wrong in the past, they should be forgiven. If it's not like murder or anything like that, it's not the end of the world. He can still redeem himself. And I don't think that... I mean, I've never been a Bitboy hater. There's a lot of people out there that hate Bitboy. I don't hate Bitboy. I think he's fantastic for the crypto community. I think he's fantastic for cryptocurrency on the whole because he has possibly the largest onboarding platform into crypto out of anybody on earth. He brings in more new people into the industry, from my perspective, or at least he's one of the larger players that brings in new people into the industry. And that's good for the industry. We want that crypto adoption. So I don't want Bitboy to go anywhere. At the same time, I don't think what he's done is something that he shouldn't be forgiven for. But I just think it's important to point out that I read through the comment section on his video and you've got all these people saying, Ben, we support you, we do this, we do that. Just, it is important to recognise the fact that he did sling his todger in somebody else, and that's not a good thing. We shouldn't be doing that, and we shouldn't be supporting that, especially when you've assigned to sling your todger into one person for your whole life, and you've already created some children. Don't be doing these things. Anyway, on that note, going back to the price of Bitcoin, we've got this little bit here, $25,500. Need to hold that support level. We also need to break back to the upside. I think that there is a potential here that the bottom is already in on the price of Bitcoin. And from my perspective, a long is the thing to be taking around these levels here, between basically the level that we're at right now and the level that we were, 25.5 up to 25.9. That is the long range where I'm opening long positions. The take profit on that trade would start somewhere around 26.2 and then up to the level of resistance here about 26.7, and that's where I'd be hoping to take profit on these positions here in the hope that we get some kind of inverse head and shoulders and then potentially drop to the downside. We'll see how it plays out, but Bitcoin is still very much ranging in this range right now. It's important to point out the reason why Bitcoin continued its downfall today is because the DXY shot up like a rocket today, up another 0.5%. It's just absolutely smashing it right now. The S&P 500, the stock market is up tiny amount, really pretty negligible to be honest. And if you look at the value of Ethereum is doing very much the same as Bitcoin. His Bitcoin value is actually really not changing that much. It's very much stagnating, not really a whole lot of movement here. This is the hourly chart. If we look at the hourly chart on the value of the US dollar versus Ethereum, we can see the Ethereum's price again. It's just copying what Bitcoin is doing. So from my perspective right now, the move we're making on the markets is a long, I was going to make a Bitboy joke then about long, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue on with today's video because we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about in today's cryptocurrency news. So the first thing would be Pikamoon has been unveiled, exploring project progression, immersed community vibes. Very interesting, this Pikamoon thing. I've not put any money into it yet, but I might do. We'll see. I'm yet to make my mind up, but I just want to know what your thoughts are. You can leave them in the comment section below. I'll also leave a link to this Pikamoon article in today's video description. But basically, Pikamoon is a play-to-earn game inspired by classic monster pet fighting games. This is something that we saw a lot of during the bull run. We saw a lot of these games popping up, but it seems like these games are starting to pop up again, and that could be a potential sign of times changing. If you remember at the start of the last bull run, the actual altcoin market really started popping when the play-to-earn games started popping, like Axie Infinity. So hopefully this could be one of those and it really starts having some tremendous growth. It is important to point out that Axie Infinity did have 2 years of build up to the previous bull run before he did incredibly well, and this game has yet to launch, but when it does launch, potentially, maybe, we'll see. Either way, going back to it, you can see that basically there'll be more detail in the Pikamoon white paper, of which you can click on in this article right here. At the same time, the Pikamoon team is in collaboration with highly respected game design studio Kavuru Games, and if you want more information on it, basically all of the information is in this article that you could possibly need. The pre-sale for Pikamoon is ending soon, so if you did want to get into it, the option is there. Not that I'm saying, I mean, I've not done it. I want to point out I've not put money into this pre-sale. I'm not saying that you should put money into this pre-sale, but there is a pre-sale that does exist, and I might put money into it. I will let you know if I do. Either way, if you did want to do it, just to let you know, because pre-sales and stuff like that, there's one for Cashew Coin at the moment that I have put into. But basically, pre-sales look like they could be coming back. I've done a few more recently. It's not been something that we've done a lot of on the channel for a while, and over the past month or so I've found myself doing several pre-sales, so that's been interesting. We'll see how they go. I'm trying to just kind of gauging the market. Look, if you're in a pre-sale and it does really well, it's 100x, then you know, you make a lot of money. If you're in a pre-sale and it does a 2x, well, you know, the market's still not there. It's still not doing great. The other pre-sale coming out pretty soon is Vexed. That's going to be an exciting one. But anyway, back to this. Web3 gaming investors seem to be enthusiastic about Pikamoon, as according to the Pikamoon team, the second funding phases sold out in a matter of weeks. The third and final ICO phase is still in progress, but token supplies at the 0.0006 price are dwindling, apparently. Anyway, moving on from that article here, check it out in today's video description. Pikamoon. The SEC allowed two more delays to spot ETF decisions. This is annoying, but it's just a fact of life that we're not going to get these ETF approvals as fast as what we'd like them. Country Garden reports a $6.7 billion loss, echoes of Evergrande ring. This is again interesting because we could have a second Chinese developer, huge property developer, about to go bankrupt with 6.7 billion. Admittedly, 6.7 billion, not the end of the world. The economy can more than cope with a 6.7 billion loss. The point is, it can't cope with 6.7 billion after 6.7 billion. It can't cope with this domino effect. One big domino falls and it knocks over more dominoes. Those dominoes can knock over everything. Is the housing market going to collapse? Probably not, but it could do. So it's important to be open to that if and when it does happen. Anyway, Ethereum declared a commodity in the Uniswap case. Give a read of this on Crypto Saving Expert. Crypto travel rule goes live in the UK. This is horrendous news today. The crypto travel rule went live in the UK on the 1st of September. The rule aims to prevent money laundering and terrorism, but actually all it'll do is just hinder good people. From the 1st of September, crypto companies in the United Kingdom have the ability to withhold cryptocurrency transfers in adherence with the travel rule for cryptocurrencies. These regulations, directed at the virtual asset service providers, were introduced by the Financial Conduct Authority on the 17th of August. VASPs operating within the UK are now obligated to collect, verify and share information concerning crypto asset transfers. It's not the end of the world. It's just more rules, isn't it? It's the one in October that I'm not looking forward to. That's going to be horrendous for the industry in crypto. It's going to be terrible. It's going to wipe out crypto in the UK. Anyway, we'll get onto that in a few shows' time. Make sure you've slapped a like on this video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Robinhood spent $605.7 million to buy back SBF's stake from the US government. SBF used to be a Robinhood stockholder. He's not anymore. They're all gone. They're all sold. All of that assets is seized. They're going back to FTX users. The market is not as illiquid as what people think. It's just that people don't have their money. In fact, in the case of FTX, most of the value of the assets that were lost has been recovered at this point in time, and users can expect nearly a full refund unless the lawyers charge hundreds of millions of dollars, which they will do, to SBF's fund in order to try and make as much money as possible, because that's what lawyers tend to have a habit of doing in these things. They tend to suck all of those liquidity pools dry. Anyway, right now, Bitcoin looks terrible, and that's good if you're looking to open a long. At the same time, if it does drop below 25.5, it's time to go short and ditch any long position you've got. You don't want to be in a long below 25.5. The thing will rocket to the downside. So make sure you're trading sensibly out there. Make sure you're trading very carefully. Don't be sticking your todgers where they don't belong. And have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.